my life, and our mayor, DeBlasio.
My dear friends, you're gathered here for something so good. We have done so much together. And I want to thank everyone in this room tonight, because this journey together, on behalf of all the people of this city, we have come a long way, but it's making a difference in the lives of 8.5 million New Yorkers. And I want to start with a little tale of audacity that involves our First Lady. Because she came in to City Hall and she said, we've got a challenge in this city. It's something that has not been addressed for generations. It's a pain and a burden on every family. It's the challenge of mental health. And there's a stigma holding us back. And she had the audacity to say, in this city, we will break down that stigma once and for all. And she brought us Thrive NYC. And as a salute to her, I'm going to tell you her favorite phone number in the whole world, where everyone who needs mental health can get it for free, 1-888-NYC-WELL. I'm going to ask you to salute her by repeating it with me, 1-888-NYC-WELL. Thank you, Shirlane. That's like our favorite anniversary present on our anniversary. Get a big crowd to repeat that number. So, brothers and sisters, we're gathered together, and that is powerful unto itself. But we're also gathered in the presence of Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders defines the idea of audacity. And what he has helped us to understand in just the last few years is that we have power we didn't even know we had. He had the audacity to suggest that working people ought to actually be in the control of this country. Bernie Sanders taught us to throw away the rule book we once knew, and to do politics a different way, and to reach people at the grassroots and make change like never before. Now, what I'm seeing more and more is the only way you make change is with audacity. The only way you make change is by throwing out that rule book. And 4 years ago, we had an election. And the pundits said it couldn't be done to begin with. They said we'd never get there. And then they said once we got to City Hall, there'd be chaos and New York City would return to the bad old days. Remember those advertisements with the grainy images of the 1970s? Elect a progressive, and you're going right back to the 1970s. That was the message. Well, we knew better. We knew that this city had to be fairer. We knew this city wasn't going to work unless it was a city for everyone. We knew if the inequality kept growing, it would just hold us back. 4 years later, and everyone in this room deserves credit. 4 years later, we have pre-K for all. 4 years later, we had 2 rent freezes for the first time in New York City history. 4 years later, anyone threatened with eviction gets a lawyer for free to help them stay. later, almost 300,000 New Yorkers have been lifted out of poverty. 4 years later, and stop and frisk has been reduced 93%. And sisters, we didn't go back to the 1970s. In fact, we are the safest big city in America. So we've come a long way together. But Bernie taught us that in too many ways the system is still rigged. The deck is still stacked against hard-working everyday people. And that means we have more to do. That means we have to get fairer. That means we have to become a more just city. When we this year said we have a simple message for all New Yorkers, it was only 4 simple words, but it said so much about what we have to achieve. We said, this is your city. It does not belong to landlords. It doesn't belong to real estate developers. It doesn't belong to the titans of Wall Street. And Lord knows it does not belong to Donald Trump. It's your city. It's always been your city. Even though you were told it wasn't, it's always been your city. You built it. You made it strong. You were here in the tough times. And you kept fighting for the city and the neighborhood you love. It's your city. It should work for you. And that's why we have more to do. You know, pre-K was something I cared so deeply about. Charlene and I saw what happened with our children, Kiara and Dante. We want every child to have that opportunity, and we've achieved that. But brothers and sisters, we don't stop. We don't stop when something's been achieved. We go farther. Let's go to 3K. Every 3-year-old deserves a quality early childhood education for free in the city of New York. We had an affordable housing plan to create 200,000 apartments to preserve the affordable housing people had, to subsidize it so they could stay in it for decades to come. It was for 200,000 apartments, 500,000 people. We said, that's not enough. We're going to save 300,000 apartments for New York. It's going to reach 750,000 people. We're going to create jobs for people who live in the 5 boroughs. High-quality jobs for people who live in neighborhoods that haven't had the jobs they deserve. 100,000 more jobs for New Yorkers. We're going to fix our subways. Even though we like to remind everyone the state of New York runs them, we're going to help the state to see a better way. To fix our subways, how about a millionaire's tax for the MTA? That the millionaires and billionaires could afford to pay a little bit more. I don't know, I just get that feeling. And they pay a little more, and the rest of us can actually get to work, or school, or the job interview. And here's one more piece we're going to include in that plan. Half-price Metro cards for low-income. Right? And you know what else will make us fairer? Not only are we going to get safer, we're going to get fairer. We've come a long way helping police and community come together, but we need to build more trust. And you know what will help us do it? What? The ultimate measure of trust and transparency and accountability. In the next 2 years, every New York City police officer will be wearing a body camera. Yeah! What a fairer city looks like. I'll tell you one more thing about New York City. What? We will stand up to Donald Trump every single day. So long as he's in the White White House, this city cannot be as fair as it needs to be unless we take him on, we challenge him every turn, we say no. We say no to his immigration executive order. We say no to the Muslim ban. We say no to his efforts to give tax cuts to the wealthy and corporations. We're not going to let him do it. We're not going to let him take away the Affordable Care Act. We're going to stand up. And this city knows we don't take anything lying down in New York City, do we? We rise to the challenge, don't we? So, my friends, we have work to do. But we've proven we can do it. Everyone in this room, we have proven we can make these changes in our city. So why not go even farther, right? We've proven it. So we can make this city better. We can make this city fairer. But now we've got something we've got to do. And it's a week and 1 day from tonight. You ready? Now, Bernie Sanders on his campaign said so many powerful things and so many memorable things. So many things that helped us understand what we should have understood long ago. But one thing he would say each night, and it moved me, is that the candidate matters, but the movement matters even more. If we're going to make change in this city, if we're going to continue this progress, if we're going to get fair, and we're going to send a message to Washington right now, then we need people to vote on Tuesday, November 7th. Which means, I'll do my homage to Bernie here, we need a huge turnout. Now, sometimes you'll encounter people say to you, oh, I'm not going to bother to vote. It's all in the bag. There's no reason to vote. Here's my simple message I want you to deliver to everyone you meet who says that to you. You tell them the best reason to vote on Tuesday, November 7th is because of what happened last November 8th. November 8th, people stayed home and woke up the next morning to a rude surprise, and I mean rude. I mean rude. He's really rude. So, brothers and sisters, the message has to be to people. This is your city. It's your city. You decide the future. You have to vote to decide that future. That's what you have to tell people. And I now want to conclude with a vision, a bigger vision of the future. And there's going to be a day, I don't have a doubt in my mind, I really don't, that bigger change is coming. Because what we saw in the last few years, the truth that was told, the door that was open, the minds that were open, the people who became engaged, the folks who got for the first time an understanding that they could be agents of change, that is all going to add up, and that's going to take us somewhere very different. All over this country. So years from now, there's going to be a day when health care is actually a right for all Americans. There's going to be a day when college everywhere is actually debt-free. There's going to be a day when the 1% finally pay their fair share in taxes. That day's going to come, and when it comes, you're going to look back and say, who started all this? Who started this movement? Who planted the seed? Who gave us the hope? Who showed us the way? Ladies and gentlemen,